Hi, I'm Kim, and welcome to my retirement season from a little filming corner I created this week in Wyoming. I'm so glad you're here. I've been wanting to do this for a while, but sometimes I procrastinate, not gonna lie. And so I'm excited to finally get this off the ground. So why am I here? I retired in March of 2025, March of this year, and it was a little unexpected, but it was welcome. There was an opportunity that was presented that I just couldn't pass up, but it did mean that I didn't really have a full plan for stepping into retirement. I had planned on working for at least another year or so, but was fully eligible to retire. And so it was a good thing, a good opportunity. But the year prior, I had been kind of spinning like a top. It had been a very busy season, lots of movement. And by that, I mean moves to different places, different jobs, trying to fill in places that I might be useful, and trying to support leadership teams across my state. And it was such a rewarding experience, but it was busy. And productive, because not all busy is productive, but it was very productive. And so I really did enjoy it. I enjoyed the people I was working with. But when I stopped, and it was kind of a quick stop, we weren't given a lot of lead time to make a decision about whether to go or not. It took me a minute to quit spinning. And so we took a little bit of time, my husband and I, to kind of just decompress and decide, okay, this last year we've done all of these things working up to a certain goal. Now the vision has changed and we're going to pivot, and that's good, that's great, but we really don't have, a big plan for that. So it's been several months now, and I do feel like I've fully stopped and I've rested and I feel really good. I've been pursuing some health goals, but I've really decided to dub this my retirement sabbatical season. A sabbatical in the sense that I want to take the time to explore different things that I might want to do. I mean, I'm 57 this week. I'm retired, but I'm not done. I've got a lot of life left in me, and so I don't want to waste that. But I also don't want to live a rushed, hurried life anymore. I'm just not interested in that. I want to spend time with family. I've got 6 grandkids ranging from ages 15 to 4 months, 3 boys and 3 girls. I've got a fantastic husband and great marriage that I want to continue to nurture. And I've got friends and family all over the country that I do want to spend time with. But at the same time, I think that as someone who works and loves to work, I think that part of my life is not done yet either. I don't want to go back and do what I was doing for almost 4 decades, but I think there's lots of other options. And so I'm really enjoying the opportunity of pursuing that right now. So why start a YouTube channel? Well, I think one thing goes back to the work. So what are some things I could hold myself accountable to? I heard the concept not too long ago about having an unscheduled schedule. So it's really some bits and pieces mapped out, but having the flexibility to change if you want to, right? Nobody else owns my schedule anymore. I get to choose what to do with it. But I want to choose to do productive and meaningful things. And so my goal is to record videos 1 to 2 a week, maybe. Gosh, I don't know how long it's going to take me to get used to filming, editing, all of those things. I don't have a comms team anymore, so this is all on me. But that's okay. I'm excited about the challenge and what it might bring. with those grandkids, I'd like to leave a little bit of a legacy project. It's something that I hope one day they'll look back and say, oh, that's what Grandma was doing. That was how she was navigating that part of her life. My parents died younger. My mom was 31, my dad was 59, and so I don't have a model of how this looks, at least in my life. I've got others that have modeled it beautifully, but you know how it is with family, and so I'd love to leave something behind, a little bit of encouragement. I also am known for being a truth teller, so I'm going to tell the truth, the good, the bad, the ugly, the surprises in this process of being retired, looking for what's next, or I don't even want to say that I'm looking for or pursuing. I'm just being open to what's next and getting ready for whatever this next season brings. And so YouTube will be a way to document that, but also it's a little bit of a creative outlet, right? I worked for so long in my life and I loved it, but I didn't pursue much in the traditional creative way, right? I would tell you that I probably came up with some creative solutions at work, but painting and I don't know, some of those other creative or crafts things I never was drawn to, but I am pursuing some of those. For instance, I like having a puzzle out on the table, and I'll go by and I'll finish connect a few pieces. The driven part of me wants to finish before dinner time, and I just have to make myself say, no, you can leave this behind now. Come on. So I'm learning new ways of being, I guess is what I would say, and it has been very rewarding. So what might you hear here? Well, you're going to hear the truth of what I'm going through for sure. You may hear a little bit about faith and how God's meeting me in this season and how I'm trying to listen to what He has for me. There's lots of scripture that speak to not wasting our time and talents and using those even into old age, I think it says. So you'll probably hear some of that. You'll probably hear some stories about family, about time with family, with friends, with my husband, little adventures. Joe and I have a home here in Wyoming, and we have one in Arizona. So I am the oddball that loves being there in the summertime and being in the pool and going to the lake. And of course, he wants to get out of Wyoming in the snow, and I want to be here at Christmas time when it's snowing. So we'll see how, this is our first year at doing this kind of an adventure. So we'll see how that all plays out. As a woman over 50, I'm also trying to put a priority on my health and how I can build strength and sustain flexibility into my old age, because I don't want to be in a wheelchair. I don't want to be dependent on others. I don't want to be a burden to my family. But I didn't put a priority on that in my working years. I was just going fast and going hard and enjoying it all. And so I'm not going to regret it. We are where we are, but I do have some work to do to gain my health back. And so we'll do that. We'll do some honest talk about what's life after work, and I'm looking forward to it. If you're in a season of change, whether it's retirement or something different, I hope you'll follow along. I hope you'll chat with me in the comments and engage. I am looking forward to that. I think one of the coolest things on YouTube is when a community gets started and man, they just engage like crazy. And I will admit, I don't comment much on the YouTube videos that are out there, and I've been thinking about that. What would that mean to a creator for me to say, gosh, that was really valuable. Thank you for saying that. Or for me to say, hey, have you thought of this other way of doing things? I think it's important to tell the truth in love. I think it's important to be kind and recognize and realize that we don't all come from the same place, and so information is different for each of us, but it's always great to gain a new perspective. So I think that will be a lot of fun. Honestly, I don't have this figured out. You are at the very beginning of my journey, and I hope you find something meaningful here. I know I will. So thanks again for being here, and I'll see you next time.